Hey, welcome to All Things Nutritious and Delicious. It's Heart Healthy Month, and we have got to talk about how to take care of your heart, okay? How to prevent heart disease. If you're at high risk, what can you do to help yourself? I'm going to break this down into three parts. Number one, let's talk about your numbers, just so you understand your numbers and what they mean. When you have a cholesterol profile, your total cholesterol, you definitely want to be less than 200, ideally less than 170 if you're at high risk. Your LDLs are the bad guys, the stuff that sticks to the arteries. You want them about 70 if you're at high risk, but no higher than 100 if you're okay. Now, I'm going to take that one step further. Your LDLs, if you're at high risk, you want to get a breakdown and you want to get those numbers. You want to get your lipoprotein little a, LPA, checked. If that level is high, that is a huge risk factor. So get your lipoprotein little a checked. Your HDLs are your good guys. You want them 50 and up. You want them the higher, the better, okay? If they're 100, that's great. So, but anything over 50 is good. Triglyceride levels should be less than 100. Those are your blood fats, usually raised by refined carbohydrate, sugar, and alcohol in the diet. So you want them less than about 100. All right, that's your basic breakdown. If you are at high risk and you're worried, there's a test called a coronary artery calcium score. It's a CT scan. You want to get that done. That's a predictor for heart attack. You want that to be 0. If it's even between 100 and 400, you're at very high risk for having a heart attack. You want that level to be 0 so you can get your levels checked. It's a CT scan. Okay, so those are some of the medical numbers that you want to get checked out. Now, the nutritious and delicious part, let's talk about diet. Number one, as vegans, what's the dangerous stuff if you're a vegan that can clog arteries, that will either raise insulin levels, raise cortisol levels, raise your blood sugar, or clog arteries? Saturated fat is found in butter and things like that. We eat plant-based butter, but make sure when you look at your plant-based butter that you don't see any coconut oil, because coconut oil is so high in saturated fat, it's really something you have to avoid. So make sure you're not doing anything with coconut oil. Sugar, sometimes, we eat a lot of sugar. Just because something is vegan doesn't necessarily mean it's healthy. So make sure that you're keeping your sugar content. For added sugars, you should be no higher than 30. That's for added sugars. That doesn't mean fruit. Fruit is, enjoy yourself, especially berries. Berries are preventative. They're super high in antioxidants, especially blueberries and strawberries. But watch your sugar content of added sugars to try to be no higher than 30, okay? And then it's what we add to the diet. What do we need to add to the diet? Beets. They're so high in nitric oxide, they actually help vasodilate the blood vessels. So you want a lot of beets and dark greens, all your dark green leafy vegetables. You want all sorts of nuts and seeds, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, walnuts, almonds, pistachio nuts. So you want your nuts and your seeds, and avocado is super healthy fat. When you use oil, you use olive oil, mostly exclusively. If you use a little avocado oil, fine, but olive oil is your best bet. Legumes, all beans are insanely good for you, as well as tofu and tempeh. All right, so your tofu, your tempeh, your beans, all legumes, all fruits and vegetables, in particular the berries, dark green leafy vegetables, vegetables that are high in beta carotene. That's all the orange vegetables, which are delicious, sweet potatoes, butternut squashes, all the squashes, carrots. If you roast them, if you air fry them, they're delicious. All right, and all cruciferous vegetables, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, broccoli, kale, cabbage. And once again, when all these things are cooked or roasted or stir-fried, they taste delicious. So there you have it. Take care of that heart. Eat a lot of fruits and vegetables and beans. Stay away from too much sugar and saturated fat. In particular, once again, as a vegan, your coconut oil in particular, because we don't eat meats and regular dairy products, which is wonderful. There you have it. I hope that is super helpful. And don't forget, a really good tip is making soups, because you could throw tons of vegetables in a soup and even puree that, beans and vegetables all in a big soup, or a chili, and that can sit in the fridge and you can kind of really have that for multiple days. So that's a good little, trick of the trade. All right. Have a wonderful day.